She didn't scream. She didn't panic. She didn't even look concerned. She stepped out of her $400,000 luxury SUV, adjusted her diamond-studded sunglasses, and raised one finger toward an ambulance screaming behind her. Inside that ambulance, a man was dying. And in a voice so calm it chilled everyone who heard it, she said, "You'll wait. I'm more important." She believed money made her untouchable, but one judge would prove her wrong and destroy her world in a single verdict. A woman who never heard the word "no." Veronica Hale had never waited in line a single day of her adult life. Not at airports, not at restaurants, not at banks. She didn't need to. Her husband, Leonard Hale, was a billionaire whose name opened doors in politics, real estate, and private circles most people would never see. And Veronica? She wore his wealth like a crown. To staff, she was feared. To acquaintances, tolerated. To strangers, untouchable. She had mastered one belief that ruled her life. Rules were for other people. That belief had saved her before. It had silenced consequences. It had erased accountability. Until the day it didn't. Tuesday, 4:47 p.m. Downtown traffic near a high-end shopping district. Veronica was late, not because of work, but because she refused to leave a boutique without arguing over a custom handbag that hadn't arrived. She was irritated, impatient, already angry at the world. As traffic slowed, her phone buzzed. Her assistant apologized nervously. Veronica rolled her eyes. That's when she heard it. A sound she'd heard her entire life, but never truly listened to. Sirens. An ambulance appeared in her rearview mirror. Lights flashing, horn blaring. Drivers ahead scrambled to move. Cars hugged sidewalks. People leaned out windows to help. Everyone except Veronica. Inside the ambulance was Richard Morales, 63 years old, a public school teacher for 4 decades, a husband, a father, a grandfather who never missed a recital or birthday. He had collapsed during dismissal, cardiac arrest. The paramedics worked furiously, chest compressions, oxygen, for access. But traffic was choking their path. Every second was stealing oxygen from his brain. The driver spoke through the loudspeaker. "Ma'am in the black SUV, please move your vehicle immediately." No response. The siren grew louder. Veronica sighed. She put the car in park and stepped out. People nearby stared in disbelief. Instead of rushing to help, Veronica stood in front of her vehicle, arms crossed, blocking the ambulance like it was inconveniencing her schedule. The paramedic leaned out the window. "Ma'am, someone is dying. Please move." Veronica tilted her head. "I can't," she said flatly. "There's traffic." The paramedic's voice trembled. "Ma'am, every second matters." Veronica checked her watch. Then she said the sentence that would define her forever. "Then he should have planned better." A gasp rippled through the street. Someone shouted, "Are you serious?" Veronica ignored them. She answered a phone call. Laughed. 7 minutes passed. 7 minutes an ambulance couldn't move. 7 minutes Richard Morales' heart fought alone. When police arrived and forced Veronica aside, the ambulance surged forward. Lights cut through traffic, but the delay had done its damage. Richard was pronounced dead 12 minutes after arrival. Cause: cardiac arrest, exacerbated by delayed emergency response. A preventable death, a senseless death, and for the first time in her life, Veronica Hale couldn't make it disappear. Traffic cameras captured everything. Dashcam audio caught every word. A pedestrian uploaded a phone video. By midnight, it was everywhere. Millions watched in disbelief. Headlines exploded. Billionaire's wife blocks ambulance. Man dies. Arrogance caught on camera. When wealth stands in the way of life, comment sections erupted. People weren't just angry. They were united. Because everyone understood one truth. That could have been anyone's father. By morning, prosecutors announced charges: obstruction of emergency services, reckless endangerment, criminal negligence resulting in death. Veronica was arrested at her mansion. No press release, no courtesy call, just handcuffs. Her husband's legal team mobilized instantly. Their expectation? A quiet deal, a fine, a sealed outcome. They'd done it before. They hadn't accounted for Judge Eleanor Whitman. Judge Whitman had a reputation that terrified elite defense attorneys. She wasn't loud. She wasn't flashy. She was precise. She believed the law wasn't about punishment, it was about truth. And she despised one thing above all else: entitlement without remorse. When Veronica's case landed on her docket, she requested one thing before trial: all video evidence, unedited. The courtroom overflowed. Media packed the benches. Richard Morales' family sat silently, eyes hollow, hands clasped. Veronica entered wearing black designer clothing. Her posture was perfect, her expression bored. Her lawyer opened confidently. "My client regrets the misunderstanding." Judge Whitman raised a hand. "No," she said. "This court does not accept that word." The room went silent. "A misunderstanding is when two people hear different things," the judge continued. "What happened here was a choice." "Play the footage," Judge Whitman ordered. No commentary, no edits, just truth. The sirens echoed through the courtroom. The paramedic's voice cracked with urgency. And then Veronica's voice. "Then he should have planned better." A woman sobbed loudly. It was Richard's daughter. Judge Whitman didn't flinch. She watched every second. When the screen went dark, the judge turned to Veronica. "Do you deny this is your voice?" Veronica swallowed. "No." "And do you deny," the judge asked, "that you had the ability to move your vehicle?" Silence. Judge Whitman leaned forward. "This court has reviewed your donations, your connections, your history of avoiding consequences." The defense shifted uncomfortably. "But none of that matters here," the judge said, "because a siren does not care who you married." The courtroom erupted in murmurs. Judge Whitman stood. "This was not a traffic violation," she said. "This was a declaration of superiority over human life." She read the verdict slowly. 5 years in state prison, permanent revocation of driving privileges, full restitution to the victim's family, 1,000 hours of mandatory service supporting emergency medical responders, public acknowledgement of responsibility. Then came the sentence that froze the room. "You valued your time over a man's life. Now the state will decide how you spend yours." Veronica's knees buckled. Her husband stood up shouting. Security restrained him. For the first time in her life, no one listened to her. Cameras captured her in handcuffs. No sunglasses. No confidence. Just disbelief. Outside the courthouse, protesters waited. Signs read, "Sirens over status. No one is above life. Justice for Richard." The world watched as power collapsed. Not with violence. Not with revenge. But with accountability. Prison stripped everything. No assistance. No privilege. Veronica waited in lines. Followed rules. Heard the word no every day. She worked in a prison medical library as part of her service. She read about cardiac arrest, response times, survival rates. She learned the truth too late. 6 months in, a letter arrived. From Richard Morales' granddaughter. It read, "My grandfather taught me that helping others was the greatest strength. I hope one day you learn that too." Veronica read it over and over. And for the first time, she cried for someone else. This wasn't a story about traffic. It was about arrogance meeting reality, about power meeting accountability, and about one judge reminding the world, money may delay justice, but it cannot stop it. Because when a siren sounds, it doesn't ask who you are, and neither does the truth.